Peace. Listen, when it comes to mental health, we need a working definition of what it is and what it looks like. Most of the time, when mental health comes up in a conversation, we focus on it in a negative light. We associate it with depression and anxiety. But what does good mental health look like? Good mental health is not simply the absence of depression and anxiety. The same way good physical health is deeper than the absence of disease. You cannot have diabetes. You cannot be obese. You cannot have cancer. You cannot have heart disease. Yet you can still be physically unfit and physically unhealthy. Same applies to your mental health. You cannot be depressed. You cannot have anxiety, but yet you can still be imbalanced mentally. Mental health for me revolves around following the trail of your mind, seeing where your mind is taking you or has taken you up to this point. Your thoughts, your feelings, how you handle stress, your relationships, be it business, personal, work related. Examine all of those things in your life. See where your thoughts have taken you up until this point and see which direction you are headed via those same thoughts. Examine your feelings the same way. See where your feelings have taken you up to this point. See where your feelings are currently taking you. Same with your relationships. See what type of relationships you've had over the years up until this point. See what type of relationships you currently have. If your mind has led you in a destructive direction, destructive relationships, craving and consuming destructive foods, consistently placing yourself in destructive environments, then something is off mentally. When a mind is healthy, it is not going to crave destruction. So follow the path of your mind. Follow the path of your mind. See where your mind is taking you over the years up until this point. And that will give you a good gauge of where your mental health is. And also pay attention to how you handle stressful situations. We are going to encounter stress on a day-to-day basis due to this world that we live in. So if you don't do well with handling stressful situations, that could be a sign. That could be a sign that there is a mental imbalance. Now, again, that doesn't mean that something is wrong with you that you cannot fix. It's just a sign that something is up that you need to examine. So we got to stop running from that self-examination. Start examining yourself on a day-to-day basis to really get a good gauge of your state of mind on a day-to-day basis so that you can get to the bottom of things. We fail to do that, and we let all this stuff pile up to the point where when we finally realize that there is a problem, we years in the game of burying a bunch of issues. So it makes it that much harder for us to get to the root of a problem. Opposed to if you start examining things on a day-to-day basis, you will be able to get to the root of a lot of problems a lot sooner. You can prevent a lot of problems from happening if you start examining your thoughts, feelings, relationships on a day-to-day basis. So to sum that up, for me, mental health is really about resilience, persistence, just understanding. Good mental health is not a person that's positive and happy all of the time. A person that has a good mental state, a person that is mentally healthy, is a person that's not afraid to run from themselves, run from their thoughts, their feelings, run from stress. You know, they're able to bounce back if they come across an obstacle or a hurdle that knocks them down. Like, they're not afraid to fight. That's a mentally healthy person to me, man. A lot of people that's smiling all the time, that's happy all the time and overly positive, those be the ones that's in the worst condition mentally. So are you resilient? Do you have an understanding? Are you persistent? You know and understand that life is going to knock you down, but you're going to get back up. You're going to keep fighting. You're going to get back up and you're going to fight that much harder when life knocks you down. That's a good mental state to be in, man. Just having that resiliency, having that persistence, just having that understanding that not everything will go your way. Not every day will be a great day and a positive day, but you don't settle on that. You don't allow those dark days to overly consume you, but you embrace them and you accept them when they do come. You don't try to suppress it and act like these days don't exist and those feelings don't exist. You let them come and go, just like they naturally will do. So again, just start examining your thoughts, your feelings, the way you handle stress in your relationships on a day-to-day basis. Tap in with yourself, man. See where your mind has led you up until this point and see where it is guiding you right now. Get a good gauge on that mental, man. Really start self-examination is the key to mental health, and you should be doing that on a daily basis. Peace.